that way I can post it. Okay, now you guys are being recorded. I'll post it to Zoom. I mean, I'll post it to YouTube with a private link so you guys can rewatch it if you want to continue with ideas. Go ahead, Hershey.
If like, I know we're trying to get like all the scholars involved, even if like they're not being questioned or something, but if we could do that, maybe we could do like trivia questions where we could ask the audience and like the ones in the video. And I don't know if you've seen like live streams on Twitch, when people screen record, they could also see like the chat going up and like you can see people interacting in there. I don't know. I thought it'd be like that could work out.
I don't know if you can do that on Zoom, if you can screen record and have the chat show.
No, during the senior year committee thing, so like while one is recording this like laptop with like the chart, like so that we can communicate, so that we can use that if we want to do like engaging with the audience too, like oh, somebody will be holding and then like, okay, this one is saying something, other, oh, okay, from like, okay, Anwar, he's saying this is what Eagle Scholar is meant to him, you know, and then engaging if you want that.
So you're like a narrator then.
The MC, yes, like
kind of
look at both, and then
kind of like in the mornings, like if like, or like when we're on Zoom and if I see somebody talking in the chat, so kind of like that when I'm like, oh, and Mary said this and this, yes, that's awesome. Oh, and Ramo thinks that Eagle Scholars is all about blah blah blah, like that, like somebody.
Yeah, maybe while the MC is walking to another person, like, oh, okay, I'm looking at the chart, like, okay.
Oh yeah.
And then like going on to Emmanuel, if we want to like do with the, what is it called when you hide something? What is it? The one that she said hide and seek. No, it's not hide and seek. What is it called?
Scavenger hunt.
Okay, yeah, scavenger hunt. So like while she okay, if we're not going to be doing that while like the video is played, be like, okay, before we play the video, we will like ask like this like 10 scholars to find this thing that we hide. Maybe there will be like some question that we want to ask like those 10 scholars, right? And then like after the video finish, whoever like find the eggs, something like that first, we'll be going to that person, and then like maybe like the next videos, if we are going to be doing videos, and then like, okay, the second person who found it, okay, go to that person. So just like get a break in between the in-persons and then the virtual, if we are going to do that.
So what if, I feel like we need Trina on because she's the one who creates all these fun ideas for the in-person things. I mean, in the mornings. What if too, like I'm thinking, like you're saying, Mary, you're looking at the chat, you're reading the answers to the chat as you're walking to the next person, but maybe even saying like, okay, so scholars, people watching, whatever, the thing that we're gonna be, here's what we need you to do. So while we're going to our next thing, I need you to run and get one college item and bring it back. And we're gonna be calling you on screen in just a minute or something like that. And so while you're walking, they're running around their house to grab something. And so like Trina, you know how she did that like this morning, like everybody show your face. So then it becomes like a grid. And so everybody's like, okay, hold up your college item, go, or whatever. And so now they all, and then just like, like we were doing this morning, like, oh, Mary, I see, so you've got UNT, awesome. Oh, Ramo, I see you're headed to UT, that's cool, and you just kind of call them out like that. So that could be like the scavenger hunt part, like somehow connect it to college or or emojis, like show us your face of what you experienced this summer, or something. Go ahead, Emmanuel.
So will we be having like all of the 88 scholars in the meeting, or only like a certain people? Because will it work if we have, because I know we did even last year because we're scared that there will be problem with Wi-Fi, so only chose like a certain people.
I don't know. I mean, I think it depends on the way it's done.
Facebook, maybe?
Facebook for what? Facebook for what, Mary?
One person could be on the Facebook while they are following the enemy. And then like somebody for like the chart, on the chart, like so that like they can respond back to something like some question. If they are not like in Zoom, then like something that you find, okay, think about something for like college, like you said, and then like maybe they can write it down, and then like if not, like it will be like on the, okay, so this Dr. Jenna is saying, I don't know, a pen with you, something like that. If it's not going to be like on Zoom, but like on the Facebook chart too. I don't know if they will be able to see it.
Let's see, who am I?
And then
Okay,
also think about the
okay.
technical part. The
Think
camera,
about what?
the technical part, the camera, like it's gonna be moving like this. It's gonna be shaky. Like how are we gonna work it out?
I think that, and it may be shaking, but I feel like sometimes we try to make like these things so sterile, like so, scripted and all of this stuff. And so, well, yeah, I don't want it necessarily like that, but it doesn't necessarily need to be so perfect, like, because if we are engaging and stuff. So, Angmei, what do you have?
To be honest, you guys are saying so much ideas. I don't know. it's a lot.
What are your thoughts? What kinds of things do you think would be important in this finale?
I guess one factor that would be important is that it's something that the scholars will enjoy. First off,
Okay.
we don't want to do something that's boring, of course.
Right. Okay. And
Really
that's
bad.
fair.
And do you guys want it to be in person?
Probably can't be in person for everybody, but
Yeah.
how many are you guys thinking in person?
Around 15, including the MC and the people recording, and then the scholars.
Okay.
Do we want half MC to be online and half, are we going to have 5 and half in person, or want all of the MC to be in person?
She's saying, do you want the MC to be online, like at home, making sure to manage everything, or are all the MCs going to be in person?
Or we can do like half, like half of the MC will be looking at the chart when people write it down, while the other MC is walking to the other scholars.
Let's say if we have a MC from virtual, what would they be doing? Oh, like coming out of mute and then like replying to the chart? But like, wouldn't that be like too chaotic?
Well, I mean, I guess the person in online could read the chart while the one in person can, while they're walking. If we're walking to another person from person to person, if we're doing that way, and so while they're walking, instead of the audience looking at the MC in person walking around to the next person, maybe the MC from online can just read our chart, just kind of like distract them, like, oh, here, focus here, and then right after the MC in person is ready, they can get, take it.
They could put
Maybe
the spotlight on them.
A little interaction between like the MC virtually and MC in person, like, oh, this is saying this, oh, and then the MC for in person, wow, yeah, that's interesting. And then like just like, and then like putting like the getting the scholars answers to it too.
Ramo, I haven't heard from Ramo, and then I haven't heard from Allison. So Ramo and Allison. Yes, Allison, you get to contribute too. Yes, Ramo, that would be you.
No, I meant Allison go first.
You're saving the best for last. All right, go, Allison.
Okay, yeah, I actually didn't realize I would get some input, but yeah, I like everyone's ideas, and I think it would be cool to, if possible, yeah. So to have 2 MCs, like one in person and one at home. Yeah, I kind of thought like it would be. Like, because there will be like a montage of like people who did do their projects. They're gonna get to have their minute shown, right? Eventually.
So the minute, if we do everybody's, then that becomes like a 40-minute deal. So we won't do what Miss Esther did last year to kind of be able to show off everybody's was they did a whole video, but then they split it up. So they do like a little bit of the video and then MC in the middle, and then do more of the video and MC, but it's still a video. So I wonder if maybe we could look at those. I mean, it's going to be late though, but maybe we could have proposals of people who did their project and who wanted to be in person and could be in person, because some people can't, because they're across town or whatever. I think if we have a designated job for each person, like your job is to be in person and you're going to talk about this when the camera gets to you. Your job is to be at home and doing all the spotlighting of the people. Your job is going to be the MC, your job. And so everybody have a different job. So, but to your question, Allison, I don't know that everybody's 60-second video will get shown.
Okay.
Maybe before when we are waiting for like people to come in, we can like take all. I think Ramo is collecting the picture of what from the mentor class did. We can show them. So this is like, we don't have to specifically like say, oh, this is like from what is the class that we're doing drawing, from drawing mental health class, then show all these pictures one by one, and then after that another one, just to like have them see it, but not specific like in video sense, but also just like a picture. Allison, she's raising her.
So I just came up with an idea. So what if there was a way to somehow show multiple people's kind of like I'm thinking of Jimmy Fallon on his show, when I don't know if y'all have seen it, but he kind of includes like squares of different people and they're all doing their own thing as a way to show everyone. Use that somehow. It does, maybe not necessarily to show to show all of the like a lot of projects, but also if you want to use it somewhere else, that kind of, if that makes sense. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? He uses it for songs, but when he includes celebrities in there, in like the box.
So wouldn't that be kind of like what Noura does in the mornings when she spotlights like 5 people?
Yeah, I guess. Oh, I was just thinking like if we did it with pre-recorded, like with their 60-second videos.
Oh, I see. So, okay. So what if we did it in real life rather than everybody has to do the recorded videos because that's part of their project. And those are going to be posted on the website and on YouTube and stuff. So they'll get their showtime or whatever. But what if we do like that, like have a portion of the finale to where they, whoever the spotlighter is knows who to spotlight, and they spotlight these 5 people who show like whoever was just saying that about the art class, everybody puts up their art drawing in the, like, I don't know, I don't have an art piece, but just, like they put it up in the camera. And so then, and that's who they spotlight, is everybody puts it up in the camera, or they hold it like this or whatever. And so that their art pieces, you have 5 people spotlighted at a certain time. And so that way everybody's getting their time. You could still have all 70 people on, and then it's just, people get spotlighted at different times and say, okay, these people did the art, or I don't know, something like that. Oh, okay. If she tries to get back on, I'll let her back in. Any thoughts? I think we need to ponder on it and just kind of see. We've still got some time. I want to kind of think through, like, I like the idea of the in-person and online because we can't have everybody in there, but if we can kind of think outside the box and figure out how to combine both, that could be really cool. And I think just even our mornings, you know, just the way we are in the mornings, and the way we do our games in the mornings, is just fun to watch. And so, you know, and we can invite people that aren't even on our Zoom, join in. You know, you don't have your camera or you don't have a camera on with us, but we want you to join in our dance party, you know, or something, you know, just to kind of include them in that. And maybe, you know, like since it is Facebook Live, we could say, post your video dancing in the chat, you know, or post your, you know, post a picture of you with your emoji face in the chat, you know, and they could, because they can do that, and then we could still see them. I don't know if people would do it. Maybe we could then get some of our friends to just be our audience, like, okay, we need you on here because we need people talking in the chat.
And Regina, before you go, you might want to like recap everything that we talked about so that we remember to what to ponder on.
Okay, so here's what I had written down before we hit record. So we're thinking that we would like to have some of it, at least some of it in person. So another thing we talked about was like to maybe utilize all the career classes and all the stuff that we've done this summer. So like to have the social media person be one of the MCs or something, and maybe have like the stop motion people, which actually theirs is maybe more of a video, so it might be a video that we would show, but or they could just have it like in hand, and the social media person or this MC could go from, you know, as if we spread out it, say, I'm just going to use the library as the example. It could be in front of TASB, it could be, you know, but I'd say somewhere in Vickery, and then just go from person to person, asking them about whatever they have in their hand, like whatever their project was for whatever class it was, and asking them and talking to them, and then going to the next person. And while they're going to the next person, reading the chat, like interactive comments potentially. So that was another thing we talked about. We talked about showcasing a video of the career classes. Like, I guess that would be, I can't remember how we talked about that. Showcasing the video, I guess it would just be recording little pieces of career classes and putting them together. So in that case, we would need somebody to create a video, which I think, especially on our podcast team, we should be able to have somebody that could create the video. We talked about trivia questions. So could we do some trivia questions around maybe Eagle Scholars, or maybe around education or something like that? And we talked about what is an Eagle Scholar, like creating a video of what is an Eagle Scholar and have different scholars talking. We talked about a summer montage to do like an intro, like the first 3 minutes to have that video intro. A scavenger hunt that would potentially engage the audience, or maybe just engage the scholars that are on the call. Spotlighting people throughout, like for different things that they've done, whether it's the art or maybe it's the planet protectors, what they created. We'd have to pre ask them to do that so they would be ready, you know, like bring your birdhouse that you made, bring your piece of art that you made, bring your painting that you did in networking socials. But if they're all prepared, now that everybody is a part of the whole finale, which I think could be really cool. And then I think we would need a spotlight person. So maybe Nora would be open to doing that, since she's been spotlighting people a lot. One thing to note, we can't play music that has any kind of like current music though. I don't think, unless somebody can figure out how we do that without the video getting pulled, because that's what's happened in the past. So, and then I think, I don't know if I said a narrator, like narrating the chat. So we talked about that as well. As Ong Mei mentioned, we don't want it boring, so we need something that's fun. As Emmanuel mentioned, we don't want it like just something to watch, but we want some kind of interactivity. So yeah, I think, does that cover all of the stuff? There's a lot to think about, and I think, I don't know. I mean, I need to think and kind of figure out what could we do. In my mind, I'm thinking it doesn't necessarily need to be a boring, let's everybody sit and watch Eagle Scholars for an hour video, you know, or recording, you know, or whatever. I think we could do it to where all of our scholars are engaged. So then people outside of Eagle Scholars, do you guys realize that there are probably no other programs there might be one, who have 83 people on every single morning. Most programs went back to in-person because they're like, okay, well, that's the only way people will be involved or whatever. And because nobody would come. Like even this summer, like they had a really hard time. A lot of programs had a really hard time recruiting people to come to their programs. And Eagle Scholars has 83 people on every morning. So I mean, so wouldn't it be cool just to showcase that, you know, just like pieces of what we are already doing. So not like changing it and adjusting it a whole bunch, but just somehow using what we already are doing, but recording it that day and posting it on Facebook. Does your cat have something to say, Dar? No, she looked like she did. She was trying to talk. Yeah, Emmanuel, go ahead.
I have this idea, and I know it's like recapping, but I'm thinking, what if this idea has some of the bad side too, but I'll say it after I said it. It's just kind of like, what if we make a breakout room, like how we always do in person, we always have that, like every 15 minutes, the people can choose which class to go in, and for 15-minute class can present what they did. Something like that. What if we create a breakout room, and people, and the con is that only people in Zoom can do that, and the one who are watching live can't do it. That's just the problem. But other than that, but the people, I thought maybe we can also create a breakout room where they can just choose, like, oh, I want to try going here and there.
So they could like try part of Eagle Scholars, is what you're saying.
Yes.
My only concern, one of my concerns with that, is because of those silly Zoom bombers. I'm just always afraid of letting people in that I don't know, because I don't want that, you know, and if we posted something like that, even to our Eagle Scholars, or I mean, even to like our Vickery Meadow Facebook page, what I've read is that Zoom bombers look for that stuff, and that's how they go Zoom bomb people, is they find those links and then they get in. And so that's the only thing that, because I think it would be fun to let people, kind of like what we do at, you know, at our past in-person finales where they go into the classrooms. That's kind of what you're thinking, right, Emmanuel?
Yes.
Yeah, I wonder how we could do that without getting Zoom bombers.
Maybe you can have like a secret code. I don't know. Just like maybe we can say, if the people, like how we always do, like we can maybe send a survey that say, are you going to come? And they say they're going to come, I'm going to put it down. And before letting them, we're going to look at the list, like, oh, they said they're coming. Or if we don't know this person, we can just remove them so that we can kind of like avoid the Zoom bomb.
Okay, let me think on that one. Not sure. Any other, so add that to the list. Let me put on here, use breakout rooms. All right, any other final thoughts? And then so we've got until next Thursday, and we need to so by next Thursday, we kind of need to come up with something that that we're gonna maybe look for examples. So kind of like Allison was talking about, like Jimmy Fallon, you know, if you watch that now and go, oh yes, we could do this, because you guys know the capability that we have on Zoom. You know what we do in the mornings. Maybe somebody can talk to Miss Trina and say, okay, what would be a good way to do this interactive with a bunch of people? I don't know where she comes up with these games. I need to talk to her to figure out how, you know, I don't know. I'm not sure how she does that, but that would be somehow, I don't know. I feel like having a game or something to do, just not something that's like Emmanuel said, not, or like Ong Mei said, not boring, something that's engaging. Okay, you guys all got your thinking caps on? Are you gonna help me figure this out? Now, let me say this too. You guys are all the project managers. That's why I called you guys together. This does not have to be limited to project managers. If there is somebody else in Eagle Scholars that you think, okay, they're a really good idea person, I think they could contribute, show them this video. I'll share the link with you guys once I post it onto YouTube. It'll be an unlisted link, so it's not like you can go to YouTube and find it. But if you want them to watch that and see if they could come up with some ideas and stuff, then, you know, share that with them, let them watch and let them, you know, contribute, and just tell me so that next Thursday they could join in too if they have some ideas. And Allison, that could go for interns too, because some of the interns might have some good ideas on that as well. All right, I'm gonna, let's see, let me stop.